Hollywood, 1947. The golden age of cinema was in full swing. Glamorous stars graced the silver screen, and the streets were filled with hopefuls, eager to make it big. But beneath the glitz and glamour lurked something far more sinister. One cold January morning, Los Angeles was shaken by a murder so brutal it would haunt the city for decades. The victim? A young, beautiful woman named Elizabeth Short, soon to be known as the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short was an aspiring actress, like so many others who had come to Los Angeles, seeking fame. She was 22 years old, with striking black hair and a penchant for wearing dark clothing, which earned her the nickname the Black Dahlia after a popular movie, The Blue Dahlia. But Elizabeth's dreams of Hollywood stardom never materialized. Instead, her name would be immortalized in one of the most gruesome murder cases in American history. On the morning of January 15, 1947, a mother and her child were walking through a vacant lot in the Leimert Park neighborhood of Los Angeles when they made a horrifying discovery. Elizabeth Short's body was found, mutilated in ways that sent shockwaves through the city. Her body had been severed clean in half at the waist, drained of blood, and posed in a grotesque manner. Her face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth to her ears, creating a Glasgow smile. The killer had washed her body before leaving it in the lot, her arms positioned above her head, legs spread apart. The LAPD launched a massive investigation, but they were met with dead ends at every turn. The brutality of the crime suggested it was not a spur-of-the-moment attack. This was premeditated, calculated, and disturbingly precise. Over 150 suspects were interviewed, and while some came close to being charged, none were definitively linked to the crime. One of the most prominent suspects in the case was Dr. George Hodel, a well-known physician in Los Angeles. Decades after the murder, Hodel's own son, Steve Hodel, a retired LAPD detective, published a book accusing his father of the crime. Steve uncovered evidence suggesting his father had medical knowledge, which would explain the precise nature of the dismemberment. Dr. Hodel was never charged with the crime, but his connections to the underworld and the fact that he fled the country shortly after the murder raised suspicions. But George Hodel wasn't the only suspect. Others, including local petty criminals, were also questioned. Some even confessed, but their stories didn't hold up under scrutiny. The case grew colder with each passing year. The Black Dahlia case quickly became a media sensation. Elizabeth Short's life was picked apart by the press. They painted her as a femme fatale, a mysterious woman who lived on the edge. Reporters swarmed Los Angeles, looking for any scrap of information that could sell papers. False leads, rumors, and conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Everyone from police officers to high-profile Hollywood figures was drawn into the case. But no matter how many headlines were printed, Elizabeth's killer remained a mystery. Today, more than 75 years later, the Black Dahlia murder remains unsolved. New forensic technology and investigative techniques have helped shed light on some aspects of the case, but we are no closer to solving the mystery of who killed Elizabeth Short. Was it Dr. George Hodel, the eccentric physician with a dark past? Was it a drifter who wandered into Los Angeles, committing the perfect crime and vanishing without a trace? Or was it someone else entirely? The Black Dahlia case remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lie beneath the surface, even in the City of Angels. In the end, Elizabeth Short didn't become a Hollywood star like she had hoped. Instead, her legacy is etched into the dark underbelly of Los Angeles, her name synonymous with mystery, horror, and tragedy. Her murder wasn't just a crime. It was a statement, a brutal, unexplainable act that exposed the dark truth about the City of Dreams, that not everyone who comes here will find a happy ending. For decades, The Black Dahlia has haunted the minds of detectives, historians, and true crime enthusiasts alike. The gruesome details of her death, the riddles left behind, and the countless dead ends leave us with a single, terrifying question. How can someone commit such a violent, unspeakable act and simply disappear? The truth is, we may never know who killed Elizabeth Short, but as long as her story is told, the Black Dahlia remains an unsolved specter, forever walking the forgotten streets of Los Angeles, waiting for justice that may never come. A city of angels, yes, but also of ghosts,